冒険者たちが活躍するのにぴったりな場所かもしれません。
仕事が多いって話なのに、俺んとこに全然来ねえぞ。
ここは冒険者たちが活躍するのに
手伝って。
三月の月髄は我が手に落ちよ鬼月。
映した新月が来る。ファッション私が定義する。聞く価値もない。やっはっとはっやった行け。それ価格守りし先行よ。来たれ。
私のレベルになんとか届いた。
たもと流れてそこはっふんはっ洗い清めましょう。はっふんふっ絹のような弱さね。三月よ輝け。岩の重さは安心できます。
鋭利な刃よ。
はっ
聞け、太陽の方向を。
キャラリーいつパパ買おうよ。いや
今だ。ロックオンチュレ。
じゃあ行くよ。いや口封じは任せたからね。
石煙に葬られよ。せいせい。やっ
わけ山の地。せちみのよ契約を。
聞け、太陽の方向を。せち
冷凍の時間よ。無に着せ。食前に甘いものを。
じゃーん。痛がっちゃいないの。やった君と一緒じゃないか。
はっはっは。歌え僕の生元に。冷凍の時間よ。さ
捕まえた。どの目が出るかしら。はっよっ。
開幕だ。目も舌も満足させてあげる。僕をたたきと力を
クイーンのダンスと行こう。
ステップは
手を
覚えているわよ。
光り輝くがいい。
しまったこれより演じるは断罪の一幕。
そら
舞台効果も大切よ。痛がっちゃいないの。
食前に甘いものをガンのように羽ばたく。
ちょっと終わりで忘れたね。
どうするよ。
この手にふっやいるんじゃダメ。お披露目だよっ。べいはっは
盛り上がりが足りないわ。
クイーンを任せるのだ。
世界の熱狂の渦には
やけど
かかれ。この舞台に心震わす。
怖いか。それとも恐怖を抱く勇気すらないか。
ストラリーいつとばこうよ。
この天下で裁く。
私と打ち合う気か。闇来たる破滅の時なり。煉獄の投影に過ぎない。撃て。この燃え上がる炎で。
じゃあ行くよ。
いいだろう。私に挑む資格を認
悪用の
めてやる。
力を思い知りなさい。
私と打ち合う気か。
今だ。
無駄な抵抗はやめろ。逃しはしない。これはあらゆる善意を焼き尽くしてやい。
格のね。
さあ、見 届けるといい。
通常を焼き尽くす。
シトラリン、イーツパパ、そうよ。
聞け、太陽の本能を。
落日は全ての始まりに過ぎぬ。
散れ。加速すると。
Okay. That's all done. Start my resin for today, so let's go. Let's go. Let's turn in my normal shit. After I swap to my friendship team, so that doing the daily points count towards my friendship team. Not there. Yeah, I like Nodcry as a base point because the default placement, the default teleporter is right next to her. So Nodcry is by far the most convenient location to turn your shit in. The only problem comes in the few instances where they're like, hey, I know what we're going to do. Let's make the Nodcry Catherine be the start of a quest. And then you're just like, god damn it, like, don't do that. Okay, now I can swap whoever I want. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a new. Oh yeah, one of these two. Fire. Okay, well, cryo and pyro is super useful. And Geo definitely has gotten improvement. Oh, okay, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's Geo, but without water now, so we can't do any lunar crystallizers, unfortunately. Oh shit! Oh, I forgot to Forgot to check my pot yesterday. Yeah, it looks like I haven't checked my pot in too long because I haven't capped out on my currency. Shit. Damn. Forget. Yeah, I gotta get in the habit of checking this more frequently. Hopefully I didn't let... That's the thing is, I don't remember checking it in the last few days, though, so I'm assuming we're really... 5,000... It's not terrible, so I must have at least checked it a few times earlier in the week. Oh, hey. Something I haven't made before. Okay, let's make one of those. Yeah, name of the games I want to get 20 of everything. Before I was getting 10 of everything. Oh, actually, let me just double check. Oh shit, I have some things I'm missing too. Shit. Okay, so there's some new stuff I need to pick up as well. But I had gotten 10 of everything. But there are a few recipes that are like, oh, by the way, what is it? Companion gifts. What the fuck is that? Oh, does that mean their friendship is? You can go talk to them? Is that what it is? Whatever. Sumeru. And is the entry point still over here? No. They changed the entry point. Yeah, that was it. It's over in the middle of the desert. Oh, let me just double check. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah. It was in the middle of the desert over here or here. Oh no, near this one.
馴染みはあるけど、なんか嫌な感じ。
Oh yeah, that's where I stopped. Yeah, I was gonna do more of this yesterday, but then I realized, oh shit, I hadn't done Imaginary Theater, so I spent my time doing Imaginary Theater. And then on Saturday, the thought was I would play Genshin on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, it was all focused on building some stuff for my bedroom. So I was making all that shit. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I was busy, very busy. And it was the kind of thing like by the time I finished it, it was already relatively late, and so I was working on. And this is the kind of thing where I was like, and it was like very work intensive. So it's like, after all that heavy lifting and shit, I just feel like walking after that. I just wanted to shower up immediately. So, and since this is such an easy. It's such a distracting thing. It's perfect for this kind of shit. Although, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shit coming out this week. So I have a new Final Fantasy patch that's coming out on Tuesday. So it's like, okay. Luckily, it's not luckily, there's not much I want to do. There's the ultimate, and then the new crafting relic planet. So, which is fine because I mean, I just yesterday finished up my fishing relic, so now I've gotten all the crafting and gathering relics. I'm basically done, so I don't have to worry about anything else, which is cool. I'm all good, so I don't have to deal with that shit. So the only thing I have left to do is just whatever's in the new planet, and the new planet is going to be the last planet. So I have until Evercold, which is in like 7 months, to do it. So 7 months to get the last few steps on each of my relics is tons of time. So there's nothing super crazy coming out in this patch that I have to immediately work on. I might pop in and do a little bit of crafting relics here and there, because this is the time when we actually are building stuff and progressing the research into the planet. And I've never actually been there while it was current. When the first planet came out, I didn't focus on it at all. And I only ever went to it much later. I think by the time I went to the moon, they had already released the second planet, I think. Something like that. So I arrived, moon was fully built, and the second planet was already unlocked. Or maybe the second planet was about to be unlocked or something, but either way, it was I think it was already unlocked by the time I got there. But the moon step takes forever, because you had to craft you have to craft through 9 stages of weapon. So you had to level your weapon, and it was tough because you couldn't start at the top tiers. You only started with D rank missions. You had to do a bunch of D rank missions before you can unlock C rank. Then you have to do a bunch of C rank missions before you can unlock B. Then and then a bunch till then more of those until you unlock A. And the A ones are the ones that had the most points and gave you, a wide variety of shit. And basically you have to do 9 advancements of your relic weapon. And because I waited so long, I just basically had only my Endwalker relic weapon, which I actually did focus on first. So I was like, okay, let me finish my Endwalker relic weapons. So basically when I was doing the moon, I was actually going back and doing the Endwalker relics as well, completing those so that I would at least be able to use my Endwalker relic for the crafting on the moon. But like, that's a level 90 weapon where I'm trying to do, this level 100 crafting. So that definitely made it harder. But then by the time the moon was done, I now had a full good crafting set. I had an endgame craft, like the final crafting set, plus a level 100 weapon. Even though it's a few eye levels behind, it was at least level 100, which is a huge improvement from the level 90 from before. And then by the time I got on Feyna, and I could have done a lot of this shit on Feyna as well. So I think you can still do all those missions on Feyna. So I could have just gone there and been a more populated zone. But by the time I got to Feyna, it was still relatively populated because there wasn't a third planet at the time, but it was already coming up. So basically, I was working on the next step on Feyna, and then halfway through that, the third planet Oasis came around, and I could have moved it because I knew I could have just done everything on Oasis. I was like, I could have just moved everything there and did everything on Oasis from then on, because there's no real advantage to doing it on Feyna at that point, other than just trying to do all the achievements and stuff that give you Cosmo credits and planet-related credits, which is definitely helpful if you want to buy all the stuff, but not 100% vital. So either way. So yeah. But now, either way, at the time when the third planet came out, I hadn't finished all my crafting and gathering relics. So now I'm actually at the point where I've completed all of my crafting and gathering relics, and now the new planet's coming out. So it's it's a perfect opportunity to actually work on them while it's current, and see the planet get actually built upon. Because that was always the cool thing about Firmament and all of this. It's if you're there crafting, you can see the improvements you're doing to the planet and to the zone. And that was always cool. But the problem is if you wait too long, then it eventually gets done by everybody else. And so you pop onto the planet and it's yep, we're all done.
ああ、気にする必要。じゃあ削除しますね。
But then I just noticed that today, Honkai Star Rail also had their patch, which is super weird, because normally Honkai Star Rail was kind of like Genshin, where they had their patches on Tuesday night, which is in the early morning in their time zone. So it's 7, it would be normally 8 a.m., plus 7 or plus 8 UTC, and that's when they would normally release patches on Wednesday, an 8 a.m. Wednesday morning, plus 8 UTC, which ended up being in the afternoon, in the very late evening in Pacific time on Tuesday. But then I logged in today, and it's hey, you have a new update. And I saw the update on my PS5, but you can preload stuff on PS5. PS5 will preload the patch. So usually it's oh yeah, we've preloaded, fine, sure. But I'm like, oh no, they actually upgraded, and now you can actually pull for Blade right now, and there's a new story. I'm like, why are you releasing this a day early? That's kind of weird. Like, why? Like, you're cool, but like, that's unusual. And then I think Enfield is also getting its patch this week as well, with a new zone to go to. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay, Star Rail has a new patch. Enfield has a new patch. Genshin had their new patch last week. So I have this content to do. Zenless and Zero still has some event quests I need to do within a week or two. But, yeah, we'll see. I guess realistically what I should do is I should actually do the Zenless Sun Zero events first. Simply because I should do the Enfield events, or the Zenless Sun Zero events first, because those actually have a timeline, whereas Genshin doesn't. Oh, I see. There we go. Oh, I see. I had to have that pre-prepped. Oh, I have to have them both pre-prepped. They both undo themselves shortly. Okay. So there's a lot to do. And then, of course, 007 First Light came out, so I want to play that game and finish it. But it's like, it's strenuous enough that it is exhausting to play, so I can only play it a few hours at a time. And then after that, I want to play Witcher 3, because obviously with all the hype around the new expansion that's coming out in 2027, to kind of lead into Witcher 4. Like, I've never played Witcher 3. And I did start it. Well, sorry, I did start it and I played like an hour or two. I was thinking that it would properly explain like the entire setting and story and like who all the characters were, you know. But it didn't. It was just kind of jumped into it because like they were expecting you either played Witcher 1 or 2 or were already familiar with the story. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna put a pause in this and just read the books. So I finished reading all the Witcher books. And so now I was ready to play Witcher like a few months ago, but a bunch of other games came out, like Crimson Desert came out, which I wasted a lot of time in. And now 007 came out, but I saw that one. It's new, so I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And it looks really interesting. And it has been a lot of fun. But like the gameplay is not my favorite. So like while it is fun and I do enjoy it for what it is, it definitely isn't my favorite type of gameplay to do. Like I like the sneaking part of it, but when it actually comes to like the gunplay and the driving, I'm not a fan of driving games, and generally I don't like shooters. So because I don't have the instincts for it. So like I just don't know the best method of going about it. So like I'm kind of like a button mashy, blast through and like charge through type person, which obviously fucks you over if you're actually in a game like this where you're supposed to be methodical. And so when I finally got to a gunplay thing and was charging through, I died tons of times. And then I'm like, okay, let's go through and kill everyone first, kill all these guys, then I move on to the next group, and then kill them, move on to the next group. And that's when I succeeded. So it's you just gotta be calm and collected. But yeah. So that game I should probably finish within the week. Simply because it's not, from what I hear, it's not super long. So I should be able to finish the story for that. I doubt I'll platinum it, because it seems like to platinum it, you need to do all the tax sim stuff, which might be fun to a degree, but like, I don't know. Like, I find it hard to get motivated even now to do that type of shit. Like some of it, maybe I need to do an infiltration mission where it is all about sneaking and stuff. But I did notice that some of the challenges are just kind of annoying. Where it's like, hey, for this challenge, you need to do this type of thing. You need to only use pistols. You need to only use shotguns. I'm like, I hate those type of restrictions. Because what if I hate shotguns? What if I just don't like shotguns? You know? Forcing every kill has to be with a shotgun is just kind of annoying. Especially, like, if you don't know which missions are going to have enemies that have shotguns that you can pick up. So if you're thinking, oh, I want to do a shotgun run, and you go into and you try one of the things that only has a few shotgun enemies, which means you have far less shotgun bullets to use, then it could become an impossible task. Which is like, and you won't know that until you do it, and then you're just like, shit, I had to swap to another weapon because I ran out of shotgun shells, and there were no other enemies with them. Everyone else had other types of weapons, so I wasn't able to reload and refill. So I don't like that type of stuff where it's like you have to do it at least once to know whether or not it's viable to do it for a challenge run. And I'm like, I wish it was more clear, you know? Because like basically what it's doing is it's asking you to do it multiple times then. And there's a lot of ones that seem to be like, yes, do this with kill every enemy only using pistols, kill every enemy only using shotguns. And it's like, okay, well then you need to at least do 2. One of each. Yeah. I mean, some of that will be not too bad, because like you start with a pistol, so you could just, you know, if you go into every single run like you're going to only use pistols, then eventually you will just succeed. The problem though with the shotgun, only killing with shotgun, is that like, what if you can't get a shot? Like that means you kind of got to avoid killing people for as long as possible, so that you can hope that you get a shotgun early enough, so that all subsequent kills can be with it. But I don't know, like if some of I think they have 2 types of like missions for the tax sim. Some of them might be combat oriented, others might be purely infiltration, which that was the thing I liked the most, the sneaky takedowns and stuff. Although, even still, doing some of the story missions, there are way too many enemies. The enemies are far too mobile and they're far too dense, which makes it really challenging to do a no detection run, because I think the point is you're supposed to use your gadgets and stuff to avoid detection for all of them, but even still, it's just like there's so many of them. It makes it really hard to kind of like envision a route. That's what I found. It was like, God damn, like I can't think of a good route to do because there's enemies all over the place, and they'll just like pop out of nowhere when you think, oh, cool, this guy's alone. They go take him down, and then you do that, and then it's like, oh, look, there's another guy right behind who saw that. I'm like, God damn it, I didn't see that guy because he was in a blind spot, and there's like, so many enemies all over the place. Or like while you're taking one guy down, a few more walk in or walk right past you and then catch you. And you're like, God. Yeah, so I don't like that kind of shit. So I'm thinking mostly I'm going to focus on the story, beat the story, and then probably stop playing the game. You know, just so I enjoyed the most. Maybe at some point I might come back and try it. I very much doubt it, especially because I really want to play The Witcher. Like, I really, really want to play that. But even still, like, with the new Honkai Star Rail patch coming out, a new story, I obviously want to do the story first. So I want to do the story for that. When Enfield comes out on, like, Wednesday or Thursday or whenever the hell it does, I want to do that. You know, so... It looks like Enfield, though... Well, it looks like Enfield won't have a new zone. Or a new AI, or new... Actually, I don't know. I could have sworn I saw some leaks, and they were like, oh, now you're actually farming gas. So now you're going to turn gas from locations into... and combine it with stuff, which means if you're going to have a completely new resource that has to be mined and then immediately used, and then chances are we're going to get a new outpost. But I think we got an outpost last patch, too, so... Because, like, we had the new... oh, wait, no. Not last patch. Last patch just had the testing area. The patch before that is where we had acid introduced. But yeah, that was the thing. Is they had a completely new resource, acid. And so they had an outpost for that. So if we're going to get a completely new resource to mine gas, then we're probably going to have an outpost as well, where you can set up all your facilities that need to use gas. And of course, if there's going to be a new factory, then that'll be a lot of time getting all that sorted.
あなたたちに解放の機会をお与えになるとは良い方向に考えようじゃないかベン
Wait, yeah, that's the interesting thing, right? They were locked up, right? But because this is the Golden Slumber, one would assume it's not a bad thing, right? It's like, oh, we need you to manage the Golden Slumber. That will be your task to do that. But even these people say you were locked up in prison, right? So they're referring to the Aru as a prison, despite it also being like where the Golden Slumber. So it's like, so then why were they imprisoned, right? You know, that seems weird. Like it would be understandable if you're like, hey, I made the Golden Slumber. We need people to take care of it for now and in the future. If he was like, I suspect something's going wrong. I expect some trouble coming up, so I'm gonna put you in the Aru so you can protect it while I deal with whatever the fuck I'm dealing with. So it is kind of weird that they were even considered being locked up, and then it's like, because I can't remember what they did to get themselves locked up, right? Was it just Deshret went mad with power, and he couldn't trust his closest advisors because he thought they were gonna cede power from him, or?
ヘルマのベスが恋しいね。彼がいなければ。まったくまた独り言ですか。責任感のかけらもない。なぜ親王はあなたの。それこそ親王が我の自由。
機械どもを見ていたら、お前たちが数千年もの時を共に乗り越えてきたのだからな。そのと。
That's funny. I like these guys. Is it gonna do it again?
の世界はもはや古きか。初めて会うわけでも前回は偶然あの若者の。
Oh, okay, cool. This is new dialogue. Nice.
他の連中の方がよ。そうか。ならお前の門弟のネフェ。確信をついたな。素直な子の方が良い。真っ赤な嘘。つまり、とうとうは自分自身を評価しているという。どの口が言う。ゲームで負けてばかり。貴様ら。この俺に。よくもまあそんな。
Oh wait, no. This is the same. This is the same dialogue. Okay. I guess I just wasn't paying attention in the beginning.
全く。それこそ。
機械と数千年ものとその。
どう？順調？
まあまあかな。君も知っているだろう。アルハイゼンと組むときは、あいつの性格に。
アルハイゼンも似たような心境かもね。でも、
仲良くなんかやれるわけないだろ。あいつの問題点は、協力。僕とあいつが仲良く協力するなん。
そうだな。現に君は、俺に対する。
いつものことでしょ？
僕は君のためを思って言ってるんだ。他人の意見にもっと耳。
その甘い考えも昔からの。
あれ？君たちは志願したわけじゃないの？
まさか暗草なりデビ様と。
はあ、最近は一般のお客さんからの依頼がなくて、こういう大きな案件を受けるしかないんだ。できればあちこち引っ張
I mean, that's all that's on offer right now. Like, so what? Like, if you had a small, normal work project, you would do that instead of trying to save Sumeru? Yeah, sure.
それなりに心の準備はできているだろうが、それでも期待値は下げておくことを勧める。
分かってる。君だって僕の性格を把握してるなら、余計なことは言わないように努力してくれ。
だったら、いっそ僕のパトロールを手伝ってよ。それなら、大きく意見が食い違うこともないでしょ。
いいアイディアだ。だが残念ながら、
ああ、それだけには同意するよ。僕とこいつの考え方の違いや対立は永遠に。それでも一
歩前進したようで何よりだ。
何を得意げになっているんだ。
僕も一歩前進したみたい。君たちにこんな話題。
謝ると自分の非を。
冗談だよ。
I mean, he's like that's the problem. So Kaveh thinks that Alhaitham needs to work on himself, and it's like, what do you mean? Like, Alhaitham has a job. he has a home. He owns his own. He has a job. He owns his own home. He's, perfectly successful. Perfectly content with his life. You're the one who doesn't own their own home, is constantly stressed out, constantly going from project to project. Like, you're the one with problems. Like, why does Al Haytham have to make progress? And well, first of all, why does Al Haytham have to tailor himself for you? He's the homeowner. He can act however the fuck he wants. You as the renter, it's like, hey, if you're renting a place, if you can't handle him, then leave. It's not up to him to change his behavior to suit your needs, So, like, that's what was always kind of, and I think that's Kave's big problem, is that he kind of expects other people to accommodate themselves to him, and so, well, that's not how the world works, right? And then gets upset when they don't. Like, that's the thing, is you can expect that, but getting upset when it doesn't happen is stupid, right? It's like, it's your own unrealistic expectations that are to blame for this. You should just accept the fact that some people are the way they are. And Al Haytham isn't really doing anything negative, right? All he is just calling out Kaveh. And obviously Kaveh doesn't like being called out. So he reacts and tries to pretend that, like, no, you have problems too. It's like, not really. Like, nothing he's ever said has ever been like, oh my God, Al Haytham's such a dick. It's like, no, he's calling out honest observations, which anyone could. I mean, you could argue that maybe you shouldn't be saying these things out loud and just keep them to yourself, but in and of itself, it's not a problem, and it's also not untrue. And it's also not like he's being like insanely vindictive about it or anything.
ニコさんからいろいろ教わってるよ。
天の使いの悩みは天の使いが解決するしかない。
とはいえ、心配だけどね。
コレイならきっと大丈夫だ。信じてあげてくれ。僕たちから見てもわかるくらい。
一人前。
弟子の成長が寂しいか？
そんなことないよ。ただ、
彼女なら心配ない。
そうそう。
Wow, that's a nice little piece of dialogue. And that's the thing, is you could easily... Oh, okay, I can't... You could easily miss that. Like, you were tasked to go here. You could have easily just ignored Tignari and missed that entire thing. I'm really curious what our cryo powers are going to be. Pyro is by far the strongest we've ever been. I think Dendro is where we have the most utility, but Pyro is definitely the strongest we are individually. So I'm kind of curious how Cryo will go. Whether they're going to try to make the Traveler into an on-field DPS or an off-field support, because Pyro was kind of more off-field support, but also did have some decent damage while active. It's like off-field. Actually, never mind. She really wasn't a good off-field support, and her burst needs her to be on-field. But when you do her skill, technically, I think anyone can do follow-up attacks with the ring. Or actually, maybe not. No, maybe she has full DPS. That's why Dendro has far more utility, because it is a really good Dendro applicator.
こんにちは。
かしこまる必要はない。俺、
ずいぶん彼女を。
心配だけではない。好奇心もある。
ナヒーダは大丈夫なのか？
少し待て。
どうだ？
アペプに呼びかけてみた。
Does he feel? Oh,
反応はなかった。
I was gonna say. I thought he was gonna feel Ophep getting closer. He's like, wait a minute. I sense Ophep getting closer.
どうやら本当に
That's interesting, though.
の世話に集中しているようだな。
That you actually have a direct line to Ophep.
お前たちはみんなアペプがナヒーダに手を貸したことに驚いてるみたいだ。
キングデシェルトのアフマルと草の竜王アペプの因縁を知っているか。ずいぶん昔の話だ。アフマルはアペプのこととなるといつも独善的になる。勝手に彼女
Oh, well, yeah, no wonder that pissed him off. Or pissed Ophep off. I thought there was gonna be something else, right? I thought there was gonna be some, like, backstory before that part. you know, where it was going to be like, oh yeah, they had some interactions, and then Opep, yeah, they had some interactions, which pissed off Opep, and then the cherry on top was then he listed Opep. But to having the start be that, I mean, obviously it's not a great start, let alone listing them amongst the pillars, but claiming that they were more powerful. Yeah, Opep would be super pissed.
俺や時羊は到底かなわず悪丸の慢心と増長はアペプからすれば愚かなうぬぼれでしかなかったのだだが悪丸は天空の島の力を欲するあまり知識に汚染されるという結末を
I mean, that means he must have been insanely strong. If he was able to fight the Dendro Dragon to a draw... Oh, actually, no, never mind. Yeah, I forget. The Dendro Dragon itself was weakened because Kusanali existed. So the Dendro Dragon's authority, a lot of the Dendro Dragon's authority had been stripped away and given to the Dendro Archon. Kind of like how New Valette didn't have his full power until Furina went out of her way to destroy the throne, which then gave his authority back to him. So, yeah. So I guess she was weakened. So I guess that would make sense to a degree. But even still, able to fight the Dendro Dragon to a draw, still pretty impressive.
そこで彼はアペプを欺いて自分を丸飲みにさせ旧時代の残照であるアペプは悪丸と彼を筆頭と
Yeah, and that's why we fought Opep. Is that the Dendro Dragon had been corrupted by something, and so we had to go in and cleanse it, which is what we did, and that's why we fight Opep as a weekly boss.
そんな彼女が送信の窮地を救うとは心底驚かされた。
おお、ナヒーダの。
そうだったのか。それなら協力も納得できる。魔人を憎んで
だな。オイラ。
彼女は他の生命と共存できないというより、自ら共存とはいえ、過度な期待はしないことだ。
ところで。ナヒーダはあとどれくらい治療を受けなきゃいけないんだ。ファデュイがまだ砂漠をうろついてるかもしれないからな。ね、私なら大丈夫よ。タイム。
What do you mean? She's here? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what do you mean look for her? We shouldn't need to look for her. Like, we dropped her off at a specific location. We should just go to her. Is she floating? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, why are they zooming out and upwards? I'm like, oh, okay, she's kind of floating.
ここまでで大丈夫よ。
もともとそのつもりだ。分不相応の厚遇を求める
な。あなたの優しさはまるで砂嵐の中のオアシスね。
よう評価する。
いいえ、これは感謝よ。
目が覚めたか。
オペプ、もうだいぶ良くなったわ。
魔人も魔人からの感謝も世にとっては何の。もし地脈の乱れのせいで世が不調。
ええ、助けてもらったのだもの。当然よ。スメールを守るのは私の責任。
汝の神としての力は。
そうね。それが私の特性でもあるわ。
行くぞ。
なんということだ。アペプなのか。草の竜王が現れるとは我が輩の目が。
どれほど時が経とうと。いや、
草の竜王よ、あえて光栄だ。
ここに来るまでの道中でも世の尻尾に絡みついてくる得体の知れん。
それで
振り落としたに決まっておろう。さてブエル、
あなたがあなたのお家で。
そんなことはどうでもいい。
なんて横暴なやつだ。
もうちょっと、あとちょっとで。
Oh, it's this thing. Sarush or whatever?
父ちゃん。この声は。
So wow, they're really getting the gang back together. Because this creature is a primary, basically the main character of the third Sumerian Desert quest. So it seems like they're kind of wrapping up all Sumeru quests, both Archon and World quests, all together. So we have, Alpep with the stuff. Jet is Sumerian Desert Area 1 and 2. She's Sumerian Desert Area 3. These guys were constantly referenced. The Thoth also was popped up during the Archon quest of Nodcry, where we learned more about Nefer. Alpep was part of the Archon quest where we had to free her of the shit plaguing her, which I guess happened in Sumerian Desert Area 2, I think. Because that's where her abode is. But I think it wasn't there initially. I don't even know if it was part of that desert quest too. I think it might have, maybe it was a quest in between the desert area 2 and 3, or a patch in between those two, maybe. I forget when she popped up. But yeah, Sarush is part of Sumerian Desert Area 3, and then all the Aranara too were all in the rainforest. So now we're going back to all the shit we did in the first Sumerian, in the first Sumeria area. Because the Aranara were part of all the rainforesty bits. So we have all the rainforesty bits. We have involvement from the characters involved in the next 3 desert areas that were released after Sumeria was released.
こいつらすっごくそれだけじゃないでしょ。人じゃないものまで私のためにこんなに遠くて危険なこの子たちが落ち着いたらこれからのことを旅人バイモンその前に状況はだいたい理解したわ。
Oh, okay. I was wondering if I could talk to them, but I guess not. They're just going to follow me.
みんな、私たちよ。悪かが苦手なのに、わざわざここまで。
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, do they mention the Arnara? No, they don't. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, not even in here do they mention their race. Maybe they're going to wait till no, because they named them already. We can see the name. Interesting.
あら、みんな揃ってるのね。大丈夫か？すっごくふんふん。私赤いふわふわ。みんな、私のために来てくれてありがとう。
Oh, it was a pot. It's the bowl on its hat. That's the soup.
本当にありがとう。R の回収を進めて、余分な情報を処理して、私も手伝うわ。企んで。そう。旅人、タイモン。私にはもちろんだ。ありがとう。それとスメールの人たちを手伝うには彼らにあなたた怖がらないで。あなたたちを傷つけるような人はいないわ。どうそれじゃああなたたちにはささやかな祝福を送るわ。そう恐れな。
Oh, wait, what? Aru's shut. Or... That's weird. I thought we were going to go to Caravan and Ribbit. I don't know why this... Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, I just don't want to do another... I don't know how long this cutscene's going to be. It's already almost approaching an hour, so I'm going to take a short break here while I quickly do my this shit, because I need to do this once a day for a bit. But yeah, so that was interesting. So it's nice that Nahida is back. I'm curious if, despite all Ophep's groaning and moaning, if she's going to pop up and help at the end anyway. I think she is. I think with all that she said, I bet there's going to be some moment where it's like, oh no, we need just a little bit more power. And I think Ophep's going to pop up and help. Who knows? Maybe we're going to help regain her authority. So maybe the reason why Doctore is able to fuck over the Irminsul is because he currently has the Dendronosis. You know, maybe he took the Dendronosis. Like, maybe he never actually gave the Dendronosis back to Snezhnaya. And so maybe he has the Dendronosis, and that's why he's able to do what he's doing. And let's go here. And so, in fighting him, maybe Ophep will pop up and swallow the Gnosis or whatever, and regain her full authority. So it could be that maybe that's what we're slowly going to do, is help the dragons regain their authority. Although I'm not sure about the Pyro Dragon, because it's I don't think we have one. The ones that most seemed obvious, were the ancient dragon people, but everything, all of them look dead. It doesn't look like there's still an active dragon, a Pyro Dragon. Because Dvalin, you could consider maybe the Animo Dragon. Although I don't know, is Dvalin actually the Animo Dragon whose authority was wrested by the Archons, or is he just is he not the Animo Dragon, but just an Animo Dragon? Although maybe that's it. Nuvalet's not the original Animo Dragon. Oh, that's a nice little effect. He's just one of the... He was the child of the previous one. So maybe Dvalin is the same, or he's not... He's not the original, but he's one of them. And if... Basically, he could get the authority of wind, and maybe that will empower him to do what he needs to do. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Probably do more of this tomorrow. Again, kind of deciding whether I should do it. I think I have 2 weeks to do the Zenless on Zero events, so I should be fine. So realistically, I should do those, because I don't think there's a big deadline to do these Archon quests. but I do want to do them so as quickly as possible because, yeah, so I avoid getting spoiled. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I will be back on later today to probably play Honkai Star Rail because there's a new story patch. Shit, no, I want to play Zen. I want to play Star 007 too, though. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. If I feel energetic enough, I might play a few hours of 007 First Light. I feel energetic. If I don't, then I'll just do Honkai Star Rail because that's much more calmer, easier to play. I don't know. I might just do First Light only on weekends when I can dedicate more time. I mean, it's kind of weird when I can dedicate more time, but then I end up stopping after like 2 to 3 hours anyway. So it's definitely doable during the weekday since I only spend a few hours. But anyway, either way, I'll be back on later tonight. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.